The card table with Rashad. Guided by the cards, growing the season's family and friends. Jack of Clubs week. Look at that. I didn't even have to ask you the question. It's right up there all written out for me.
Hey everyone, know we little couple minutes behind. But hello, Luis will be joining us. Just me and Garisha going with the seasons. And Gina hopefully can join us pretty soon. It is a Jack of Clubs week. And it's my birthday week too. So it's very interesting. I have a little bit of karma with the Jack of Clubs, it seems.
Also, what do you think? What do you think you have with the Jack of Clubs?
I don't know. It's one of my favorite artists. Oh man, I forgot to put this up. I can't. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna see something Jack of Clubsy and birthday.
My bed is a mess.
Oh, look at that.
Hopefully it doesn't fall. It's like my honorary Jack of Clubs. Hold on. It's an honorary guest. Maybe you can't.
Who is it? We can't see who it is.
Okay, all right. That's Nipsey Hussle. He's a Jack of
Oh,
Clubs.
nice.
Yeah, he's a musician, an artist.
I know who he is. I know who he is.
Oh, what? Okay. I know who he is. That's so good.
That I knew. This part I knew. Mm-hmm.
So how do you know him of him, or what is it that you know of him?
People have just brought the music in. I felt it. I heard it. I listened to him one time. I was like, nice vibe.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of like that. He just became part of the things that I got exposed to, and I was like, nice.
Oh, that's dope.
It is totally a vibe music. When people are in that zone and doing it from that place, I tell you, all music is good music in a way when it comes from there. Though I do dig the way he comes through. So, yeah, the Jack of Clubs and the speaking of the truth. That's like the first thing that comes out anytime I hear the word Jack of Clubs. I'm like, speak the truth. So I don't know where that wiring got in, but that's like one of the first things I think of. It's like, speak the truth.
No, yeah, I think and it can be a scolding truth as well, just depending on the person, you know. I think truth seekers and people that speak the truth, it can be unconventional, you know, before their time. You know, 11 jacks are in the future a lot of the times. So what they say may, what they may say or what they may see may not be for the right now, you know. And you may get it confused, or you may take offense, and you may not see the bigger picture. It's like someone seeing the bigger picture of things, I think, as well, or having that ability, and like Louis said the other week, like everyone, all of them aren't the same, you know. But they definitely have a sense of having to speak the truth, or they can not tell the truth and maybe tell a fib. You know, so it may just depend, but that essence of truth and the responsibility behind it and is heavy on them. You know, it's like it's always getting caught up of having to have to speak the truth, you know, and maybe denying that, you know, in some type of way. But when you're on the high side, or you resonate on the high side of these cards, or you speak, or you carry that Jack of Clubs, like you said, you have to speak the truth, you know. And it's also a card that's like for the community or for people, you know. And like I said, all of them may not be the same. There are certain ones that may be a little bit more reserved as well. But overall, communication and speaking and communicating is one of those things that's important. So having to be vocal in some type of way, working with people.
Yeah, I appreciate the Jack of Clubs. I mean, a lot. I really do. Like, I have many, many people in my life who are that card, and they have been huge, just really wonderful. Got your back, keep it real, good times. You know, the kind of person also that sometimes, like, when I need to just kind of not be front line, they can kind of stuff. So,
One second.
car.
Yeah. You may can put noise cancellation on. I don't know if you have that on your phone.
No, I just muted my mic.
Okay. Or do you have the window down?
No, I just got in the
Okay.
car. I'll be home in just a second.
Okay. No, you're fine. I like your dedication. Dina, like, I want
Well,
to.
today's a really big day, so I wanted to
Is
come
this the
on.
day?
Yeah,
Today is a big day. This is a
yeah.
transformation day. Oh man.
And what's crazy and how I mean, I've been crying pretty much tears of joy all morning just because when you really like see how it aligns, like there's just so much peace, like, and I'm really grateful because these cards have really, really like led me and have changed me. So today is a Two of Diamonds day, and that is my Pluto card for life. But it is also supported by the Jack of Spades, which is my reward card for life. And today I launch a whole new brand, a whole new name, a whole new look, same product, same, amazing stuff. And when I sat with that, because I teetered between the Two of Diamonds and the Ace of Diamonds, and it just felt. And then personally, today is a Jupiter day. And what's crazy is my cards today are the King of Diamonds, which is my Saturn card for life.
Mm-hmm.
And Rashad, it's supported by the Three of Diamonds. And what is the Three of Diamonds Saturn card for life?
The Jack of Hearts. Oh
Woo!
wow.
You can't make this shit up. So it gives you the chills, right? You're like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
that is crazy.
I'm super excited. And that's why I like these cards and like the energy and when I was like, I even messaged Aquarius, like, I'm so grateful. You've changed my life. It's like, oh, I would have resisted this. I wouldn't have done. I know myself. I'm a fixed card, and I get that. I would have resisted this. I would have fought because that's just how I am. But the cards allowed me to really see this, to really lean into it, to allow it, and that is just beautiful. It really is. So I can't wait for y'all to see it. I may send you guys in the group chat so you can see it before everybody else, because it should launch like later on this afternoon, this evening. So, and I know they think I'm crazy because I was like, it can't launch between this time and this time because the moon will be void and we're not launching during that. And they're like, what? I'm like, just trust me.
I mean, the way they picked the design is like, okay, they got to understand the flow now. They like, okay, then we work some magic here.
Just let her be. She knows what she's talking about. Like,
So are the cards in the design? Like, did you use the cards in the design?
Wait till you. Okay, you know what? Here, hold on. Give me just like two. I'll be home in 2 minutes because I don't want to die. So.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Don't die. Please don't die.
Yeah, right.
I'm very happy for this awareness of what's happening. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'll be home in 2 seconds, and I'll send you guys the new, like, probably it's a snapshot of the email that's gonna go out with the
Wow.
news. I just came from like the sauna and the gym. I'm so hot. Are we live? We're live, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Gina, you went from not even wanting to come to being in your car crying coming. Like, I'm telling you, man, you're popping, girlfriend.
And you guys want to know something what's even crazier? Like how just amazing. How many ways you can really like look at this? The name of my new company equates to a 10 of hearts. Which is dope.
That is crazy.
And remember, I'm about to be 44. And what supports me at 44?
The 10 of Hearts. Oh,
way. I mean, you can't really. And remember, I didn't like the way this came about. It was an I didn't name it's not me, but it is me. You know what I mean? Like that's what some.
So this is from when you went got the money. When you went on to that show, got the money. They did the thing, right?
It's a part of that. Like it's all kind of intertwined into how this is all playing out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a big catalyst for me to be able to.
Yeah, send the YouTube link as well if you can again, and I can share it.
Oh, you mean of when she did that thing when she went and did the promotion to get the 100,000? Tonight, is that what you mean?
Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah. Well, this is big stuff. Grow, Gina, grow.
Yeah, and the thing about the three of diamonds is I was just posting about it the other day that when it makes a business change, it also has the ace of spades and Mercury, and then make changes you won't recognize the business, you know. And it'd be like a total revamp and reach change when it comes to three of diamonds and transformation, you know. So it's like a big transformation that happens as well. So that's pretty dope.
Pretty dope.
Yeah. And they want to be very unique. And as far as like design is always an artistic nature, in some type of way to the three of diamonds commerce.
No, I
Well, of
said.
course, with the king of diamonds, right? I always say the king of diamonds is the king of commerce. That can be like products. With the seven of spades. Gosh, I hate to like say. Maybe I should say that, but
Why? What do you mean? What do you say it?
but it can be the seven of spades, king of diamonds, that the tenacity of commerce and transportation. Those things is very successful. They can be very successful in product sales, natural holistic health, and retreats and like forest trees and those things. So so yeah, and medicine, healing, arts, yeah, they can be very successful in those trades. So yeah, so it's all like Gina was saying, like those Saturn signs connection, crystallizing, and dealing with health and products. It's very telling of what's taking place. So that's why like the timing of things and events, how things connect, and the way they happen. When you look at the bigger picture, you can be like, wow, that's great. And when the fact that it adds faith, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. Gina, I have this bracelet that my granddaughter gave me, and it's called Glow Up Girl. And it's like it flicks up on your bracelet. If you live by me, I'd be like flicking it on your arm for you. This kind of they wrap around. Glow up. It says glow up, girl.
Deborah said, "Congratulations, Tamara." Samoya said, "Congrats."
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah, I can maybe share the weekly calendar. I have the calendar, but it's last year's. It is different. It's off.
Yeah, let's give a little bit of what people can expect in a Jack of Clubs week.
And speaking of a Jack of Clubs, that is the card pushing me this year. So this coming out, like I share this just so y'all can see like really how this energy is so aligned when you follow it. Like the nine of spades, like the day I pitched, the day that I had this meeting, the day that this transformation came up, and the nine of spades is my Pluto card this week. So it's like you can't. It's so fascinating how it all like just comes to light and how it works for you. So I'm just grateful that I'm able to kind of really sit in this space. Like I said, I would have resisted this. I would have fought that. I would have not done this. So I'm grateful. I can barely see this.
I'm going to get a hard drive too. Can y'all see? I'm sorry. So yeah, that's the calendar. Is the King of Clubs month as well. And it started on. It may align as it is. What's today? No, today is Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's not. So it is off. But yeah, but it's a calendar. So this is last year calendar. So there is an update that is available as well. But yeah, inspiration, and we were talking about it a little bit coming in with that Ten of Hearts as well. You said it's pushing you, and the Jack of Clubs is pushing you this year, and the Ten of Hearts is pushing you at 44. Let's see, go to that. Spirit. Can y'all see everything, or is it just showing it?
The 10 of Hearts is my Uranus card this week too.
So the Jack of Clubs is pushing you for this year
Yeah.
with the Five of Spades.
Yeah, the yearly.
Supported by the Five of Spades.
Yeah.
And the thing about the tens, I was thinking about the tens as well. All the tens actually transform or have another, like the transformation is almost into another 10. Have you seen that before or noticed that?
That what now? Say it again.
They transform into another 10. Like they transform, like the 10 of clubs transform into the Five of Spades, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then it's challenged, but it's the 10 of Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 of Hearts transforms into the Queen of Spades, challenged by the 10 of Diamonds. The 10 of Diamonds transforms into the Jack of Clubs. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 10 of Diamonds transformed into the Jack of Clubs, supported by the 10 of Hearts. Except for the 10 of Spades, but it's still pushed by the 10 of Diamonds. But it's 10 of Spades transforms into the King of Hearts. No, King of Diamonds. I'm sorry. Yeah, King of Diamonds. Which is, still a court card, but it's still supported by the 10 of Diamonds pushing it. And then Uranus is the 10 of Hearts challenged by the 5 of Spades. So it always had that 10 connected close to it. And also says like 10s never go back, they're always pushing forward, towards success, also dealing like with health and psychosis. 10 of Hearts is actually, if you look at Michael Jackson, he actually told Justin Bieber, I believe, dreams really do come true, So like the 10 of Hearts is also where dreams come true, and it says Jupiter, Mars, and then also if you look at it, what else? It's Jupiter, Mars. Jupiter, Mars, and Mars. Where was I going? Oh yeah, the 4 of clubs. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 4 of clubs. So like dreams and peace of mind, all of those things, and very competitive as well. They're builders, very competitive competition. That's what I was going. The video I sent you. I was talking about the Vedic guy. He was talking about like that particular the what was he talking about? The inventiveness around the Jack of Clubs, or around like that Jupiter Mars position, inspiring people. So that 10 of Hearts is like a heavy, I think a heavy card to kind of have and being a supporter, having in your spread, and of course the Jack of Clubs has the support of the 10 of Hearts, so the essence of those 10s and that placement in that Jupiter Mars position, I think is very important in telling. I'm sorry, I'm just talking.
No, but it makes I'm connecting it to just what's happening today and what's how it kind of relates with the 5 of Spades being the supporting card. The 5 of Spades is what pushes me my whole life, not supported by the 4 of Diamonds, and all of this started last year in my Neptune period, which was the 4 of Diamonds. So you see, like, to me, it's just so like, that's why it's like, this is supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like you can really like lean into it and not resist it. And the 10 of
then
Hearts.
you go to.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, and then if you look at the calendar, the Jack of Clubs week, I don't know what day did it start on this year, but it starts on this calendar on the 4 of Diamonds day. I don't know if you can see it.
On the 5 of Diamonds.
On the 5 of Diamonds? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Last year it was a 4 of Diamonds day, but still the essence.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 of diamonds in the Jack of clubs, and that being the Uranus card for the Jack of clubs, right? I mean Neptune card is the for the Jack of clubs is the 4 of diamonds.
Can you make this shit up?
This is why we be. This is why we are into the cards. I'm sorry. Is this making sense? Is everybody saying this? I'm sorry.
It is pretty magical how it unfolds. It's pretty crazy, man. It's really something.
Nice.
And it's crazy because I'm getting ready to go into 44. I mean, I just got into my Neptune period just literally last week. So
Wow, your birthday's really gonna be a good one, man.
I'm excited. And it's like, it really does show when you just keep going and not give up, because I mean, a lot of people know, a few years ago it was a rough time, and just going through so much to keep everything to stabilize, and that's when the cards really came into my life, and I really started to focus on the system and lean into it all the way, and not fight it and resist it. And I'm so grateful because I'm so excited for what's coming, and it's going to change our lives, and my kids, and they've watched me literally work nonstop for this. So I'm really, really excited, and that just shows like how powerful Saturn is. And we all talk about how Saturn can be, geez Lord, but at the same time, it will reward you as long as you do the work. And I mean, it hasn't always been easy, but it is when you just continue, when you don't give up, and when you just keep going and you keep trying and you keep, even when you do hit a wall, even when things kind of seem like, oh shit, that's when you really have to learn how to pivot and adapt, and trust that it's leading you to something even bigger and better. It's probably why I have such a strong appreciation for nines, and how I can really look at them and not get caught in even this week, I had to really be like, okay, look, if it doesn't happen, like I was set on a certain time frame, but they looked at me like, that's just not going to happen. And instead of throwing a temper tantrum or getting all in my feelings, I was like, what? It's okay. As long as it happens on this day, I can't get that particular, because it's not just me. Remember, twos are about that partnership. I have to also consider them and the time. Like they're looking at me like, what time do you want to do this? And because I'm basing it on where it is. And I was really trying to wait till when the moon moved into Gemini, but I realized like it's not just about me. So I had to really step back and be at peace and let that go and have faith, because I also have a 7 of spades in my spread this week too. I have to have faith that it'll launch at the time that it's supposed to. And what's crazy, my original business, which was called Kiss My Bath Essentials, I started that 8 years ago on a 7 of spades day. And that's in my spread this week as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Connected to that King of Diamonds.
Yep. Exactly. And that's my card today, the King of Diamonds. So it's just it. I even said, I was like, the tears are like of peace. Like this is just so like beautiful, and I'm in the sauna crying, and I'm like, oh my god. So it's pretty dope. It's pretty.
Like is that truly inspiring? Which is
for sure. Nice.
And I'm just grateful that I have like y'all to bounce, because you can't just go out to people and be like, you know what the card is today. I can't tell this team that I'm working with, like, so it's a 2 of diamonds day, and that's my clue. They're gonna be like, oh, what? So having a community of people here, Clubhouse, our little network of people that we've grown with this and done this work with that helps, because sometimes you get, it isolates you sometimes, especially when you work for yourself, a business. Like the isolation that I've gone into these last few years has been, it can be daunting, especially for someone who can be very social. I'm a very social person. I like people sometimes. I've gotten better at not liking them. But I need that. So having a group, I'm really grateful for everybody who, you know, listens to my rants and listens to my stories and, you know, helps me break things down, or, you know, because I'll reach out to people and be like, look at this, because sometimes when it's your own eyes and it's your own shit, it's hard to see it from another way. So I'm very grateful to all of you and everybody on here and our little messages, and because it helps to have people who can help it make sense, you know. And I think that's important, to have a support community of like-minded people who you don't sound like a lunatic talking to. So, yeah.
And Deborah said the 5 of spades is the solar value for 44 as well. Um, and that's also, I was thinking about in the clubhouse room. I didn't say it. Thursday, Tuesday, I was just like thinking so much as far as what was being said and absorbing the connections, because sometimes it happens so fast. You gotta like really diagnose and analyze like what's being said. How does it connect? Especially like when you in the cards as much as we are, you like a lot of stuff can be taking place in your mind at one time. Like just now, I like totally zoned out, and I didn't get to a point yet. The spiritual spread, the Jack of Clubs sits Jupiter Mars. That's yeah. So yeah, and that's the reason I even looked up and sent that to y'all this morning, because the spiritual spread is I sent Mars Jupiter, right? Yeah, that's why I sent that, because that's the spiritual position from the Jack of Clubs. So looking at the spiritual position, you can tell a lot from a particular card. But yeah, the 5 of spades in itself is change, right? 44, they always say 44, and you know, you look at red pill, blue pill, they're always talking about 44 resonators, you know, looking at a time for a major change within someone's life, or change taking place, right? And so you also got to look at what does it say about the 10 of Hearts also, you know, because they the 5 of spades is sitting in the 10 of Hearts position, you know. So when you see the 5 of Hearts, I mean the 10 of Hearts, you see the 5 of spades as well, you know, because it's supporting that 10 of Hearts with the change and the relocation and the move and those things. So that 10 of Hearts is a very big energy, and the 5 of spades is a very big energy, I think, you know. And also you looking
Audience
at
for new products.
new product, new audience, and you got to be out in the public. You got to be out in the forefront.
And that's why, you know, as much as I didn't like doing these has helped me. Doing the show, pitching, that was a huge, I mean, they wanted to tranquilize my ass that day because I was a mess. I was pacing. I couldn't sit down. I wouldn't eat. They were like, what is your deal? That whole camera thing is really nerve wracking, but doing these, getting on Clubhouse from the jump, where it helped me, you know, use my voice rather than the whole visual. That was like the stepping stone. And funny, Clubhouse is a 2 of diamonds. So it's really beautiful. And so just starting there, getting over the fear, because I'll never forget the first room I spoke in about the cards. The nerves that were inside of me. Oh, I remember even like, I think I called Diamond afterwards, like, what is that bad? Like, did I so bad?
What did I say? What did I do? Like,
I don't even
did
know.
I get that right?
Yeah, because that was just, it's nerve wracking. And it felt, this was like right when, you know, everybody was like getting on there, and the rooms where like you had to have like I don't remember what you had to have. Now it's so weird, but that, and then doing the whole pitch, even just making the video of telling my story about dope minerals was but I could, like I told Aquarius, if I didn't have the cards, I would have resisted it. I know myself. I'm fixed. I'm stuck. I'm not, I'm not doing that, you know? So, but I was able to kind of see, like, I think you're supposed to do this. Everything is saying you should do it. Now, this is where free will comes. I could have easily chose not to and said, no, I'm not doing it because of my fears, because I didn't want to, like the whole camera thing. But I, you know, then took that action and have been just, you know, getting myself ready for that and prepared for it. So I'm grateful, because the 10 of Hearts, it's a stage. So, and it's funny, I didn't even know that it was going to be a 10 of hearts energy until, after it just so crazy how it all played out. So it's fascinating.
I'm just touched by all of it, that I just love that it's happening, and I've watched you from the beginning, so I just love your joy. But there's like 4 Jack of Hearts that I know that are having moments like this in their life.
Wow.
Like just things coming together, like things showing up. Like, Vera was talking about her book, My Friend at the Farm, my other girlfriend, just like, and interesting thing, with this whole Christ consciousness, this waking up, how it's like paying off for all the hard work, all the things you do, like coming through. So I'm just like, that.
Yeah, I think it is. And that's the thing. Like, it shows, when I focus, when I get out of the clouds and I really apply myself, things do work out better. And learning my North Node, learning these placements, learning where my weaknesses and my strengths, and allowing other people to, balance that out, because I can be very like, no, I want to do it all because it's mine, it's mine. But I've been more, everything I went through really prepared me to, allow this and not be so like, no, and I'm not letting go and I'm going to hold on to the death of myself. So it has, and that's what I say, like the cards, when you really embrace it and you really allow it, and it doesn't mean there hasn't been roller ups and downs, that comes, but you really trust the process, and you can really see the nines, I think, help see that bigger picture too. You don't stay in the tunnel, and you really can see that there's going to be even more to come if you can just allow it and not resist it. So it's dope.
Yeah, and the 5 and Aquarius was talking last night. Even though there's big changes, these big things that happen with the 5 of Spades, they also have a 6 of Hearts in Neptune as well. So things also, things can change, but you also got to be patient, and have the awareness, steady growth that happens in between the changes as well. 5 of Clubs transforming to the 6 of Hearts. That's a card of change, but even within the change, there's patience, but also the essence of everything's happening on time, divine timing.
And Rashad, what's crazier, and it just blows my mind. Dope Minerals itself is a 5 of Clubs, and that transforming into a 6 of Hearts tomorrow is my card for the day is the 6 of Hearts.
I'm sorry, say that again. Dope
Minerals is a 5 of Clubs.
It's a 5 of Clubs.
It was born literally the day that the LLC was formed, and the day that we launched it, where we're 2 totally separate days, ended up being 5 of Clubs days.
What?
So,
oh my
5
God.
of Clubs. I know, right? And it transforms into the 6 of Hearts. Tomorrow, my Saturn day, my card is the 6 of Hearts.
For the week. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So if you see how it kind of goes full circle.
That is mysterious.
For to look at my spread, I sit here and I'm like,
this is crazy.
It really is. And this is why I sit with it for so like, I'm like, oh my God. It's not just one, even like, it's just how it all, and how I like to read it, like one big puzzle piece. So it's beautiful. It really is.
So, which spread are you on? You on like spread 0 or 1? For
the week
life spread or the weekly?
My weekly, I'm on plate. Where am I? Hold on, because I'm on. Give me a second.
There's a formula to calculate your weeklies as well. It is on my Instagram if anyone, or you can DM me and I'll send it to you. I believe it may be saved in my stories. They say the internet is going to go down for a few months, so you may want to learn how to do your weeklies.
Weeklies? I want to learn how to do weeklies.
Yeah, I was asking Gina which weekly spread are she on. So this is how it works. So there's 91 spreads. Over 91 years, there'll be 365. Was it 365 weeks? Let me get it right. I was just reading this book. It's so dope. It breaks down, but it doesn't tell everything like every book, right? I'm so glad Louis said, "Yeah, I want this to be the last book that you ever have to get." I feel the same way because I get a book and like, okay, it said a little bit, but he didn't say like everything. But okay, so 91 years, 91 seasons. It's 28 Saturn years, 28 moon days. Seasons of Saturn, 7 years. Seasons of the moon, 7 days, 1 year. It's one rotation or revolution around for the Earth around the sun. So, um, yeah, so you calculate your weekly is just just a repetitive cycle of 91 spreads, and through your 91 weeks, you go through like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So right now, if Gina's on week 1, this would be her
39. Plate 39.
plate 39.
My week. Ace of diamonds sitting in the sun.
Oh, wee. So
That's why
that's
you have to pick the Ace of Diamonds day. That's why you can pick the Two of Diamonds. So you could learn to work with other people and collaborate and not stand in that like I'll just do it myself way.
And the reward card too, the Two of Diamonds, is the Ace of Diamonds. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
either way, a new business being launched, a new, you know what I mean, a new brand, a new beginning.
Mm-hmm.
coming out of a partnership, a collaboration between two people, contractual agreement. So,
Yep.
And the Two of Diamonds is very creative. They have the Jack of Spades, and Mercury as
That's
well.
my card this week.
Yeah, what?
If you're on plate 39, yeah, my Mercury card is the Jack of Spades.
Oh, nice.
Doors opening, new doors opening as well.
Nice.
Creative.
Crazy
Thank-
that my youngest daughter is the Ace of Clubs. She's how this like it was her pregnancy. My Mars card this week. I mean, like I said, I'll make your jaw hit the floor with the way this stuff. Look at the 10 of Hearts, my Uranus card.
And the King of Diamonds and the Ten of Hearts, you popping up, telling your truth and telling your story.
Mm-hmm. You can't. I mean, like that's why I was like, it has to be this week.
And the Nine of Spades can be the death, but it's also a release of something. The Ten of Diamonds, the Nine of Spades transforms into the Ten of Diamonds. So
That's my transformation card. I mean, come on.
Jupiter to the Nine of Spades in this spread here.
The
Crazy.
10 of Clubs is my cosmic moon. When I pitched, the 10 of Clubs was my reward card that week. I mean, you can't make this shit up. 8 of Diamonds is crowning me. The 8 of Diamonds is my reward card for this year that's about to complete. I mean, the 6 of Clubs is the vertical to the 10 of Hearts, my Uranus, and it says Jupiter, Jupiter. I mean, like, you can't make this up. I love it.
You said what you said. What was the Six of Clubs?
It says Jupiter, but it's the vertical to my Uranus. The Jupiter is always the vertical to my Uranus.
The vertical to your,
which is the 10 of Hearts, which is the card for the new name of my business.
When is it vertical to Uranus? What you mean?
When the vertical card.
Mm-hmm.
That's so the 10 of Hearts is my direct Uranus, and the 6 of Clubs is my vertical Uranus for this week.
Okay. Oh yeah, this week. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about life. I'm sorry.
No,
okay.
This week, my weekly plate. This is where I am.
No, and why would you say that? Did you have it previously somewhere?
Well, the 10 of Hearts is the card for the new name of my new company.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I got you. That's
Your Uranus card. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then I transform into the 10 of Diamonds. The cosmic moon is the 10 of Clubs. So you see all the 10 energy, big, stage, audience reaching the masses. And when I pitched for the show, that my weekly spread of that week, I believe the 10 of Clubs was my reward card, I think. if I remember correctly. So really fascinating.
And the 10 of clubs talking about, I don't want to teach, I don't want to be out, I don't want to put myself out, you know. But when someone has it in their weekly, you know, or when you have it, it can be a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
It has a jack of spades connected to the 10 of clubs, you know.
Didn't
So
you just transform to a 10 of clubs for the year, Rashad? Isn't your year card this year 10 of clubs?
I haven't. No, sad. I haven't even looked at my year, but
Oh, you just had your birthday?
I have looked at my year, but I haven't. I've looked at my year a lot, but I haven't wrote it out for myself.
Well, I just know because your birthday was yesterday and it was on the thing, so I saw that you changed.
Yeah. Yes. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, actually transforming to the King of Hearts. Yeah, I'm transforming to the King of Hearts. The 10 of clubs, what are is displacing the 4 of diamonds. Last year, no, I haven't ran into the 10 of clubs.
Well, then it's like destiny thing that we look at, that thing like that. That's what came up when I go into everybody's birthday.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I don't know if that's true on all of the things or what, but that's one of the ways that I get a sense of what's happening in my 52 days in my daily card. I don't usually play with the solar spreads. You guys are lucky to have gotten such an interest and an understanding of them. I still kind of look at them and they pop out different things, but I don't hold them the way you guys hold them when you talk about them. I don't have that. Just
I think it comes with a little bit of psychosis. I don't know, baby.
Whatever, yeah.
I don't know if everybody wants that. Like Jenny said, you think you're crazy sometimes looking at it. You're like, ain't no way this is happening.
Yeah. So someone asked what my website, it's still dopeminerals.com right now. Probably before the day is over, it will be under the new brand. But it'll, good technical people make sure that happens.
Good technical people.
Yes.
It's like good technical people like Gina give us our weekly spreads.
Yes. I can't tell you how to change a website though. That is for sure. Like I'm so grateful because just the way it's I'm so excited because it's so pretty. And it should flow really good. And I think it's such a good look. It's such a good look.
Nice.
And look what's behind your head on the camera. It kind of is a hint to the brand.
Right? I know.
Next year.
What's going on, Nick?
Maybe he's not really here. Maybe it's just, it's just you know how like he comes in and out of Clubhouse, he's got like one of them that's here, and then another one of them shows up. There's like more than one, so it might be the alternate Nick. That's here.
But yeah, when we was talking about the Jack of Clubs, I think we kind of reached around it, through it, beside it a little bit. But also one thing about the Jack of Clubs is very inspiring for one, right? Being an 11, and it has this infinite energy. It was sent the video I said was saying like the Mars Jupiter energy doesn't like burn each other out, which I think the Jack of Clubs that's from the spiritual position of where it comes from. But also the Jack of Clubs can be a very I wouldn't say it can't burn itself out, but it can be it comes with psychosis as well. Like mental, like if it burn itself out is like a mental disorder, mental dysfunction. But when it's at its highest, it's very inspiring. Like it needs a rest or mental breaks, especially like I always say the 5 of diamonds, the Queen of Spades and Mercury need like a lot of water and mental breaks and those things, right? But also investments, inspiring people to be better, upliftment, empowering people, I think with the 9 of diamonds, as much as power that can be very selfish, but they can't be selfish. They're not, you know, they got to be for the community. You got to be for the populace, you know. So they got to be there for people, even if they're not in the medical field. Like someone had a Jack of Clubs, something in their spread. I forgot where it was exactly. But I was like, maybe they had a seven of diamonds displacing the Jack of Clubs with the ten of hearts, something like that. I'll say maybe, or their relationship was a composite, may have been Jack of Clubs. But I was saying, but you two can't be bored. You can't be restless. You gotta get out. You gotta move. You know, you can't just sit around in your thoughts and your feelings. Maybe even go out, volunteer to help people. You know, be around people of less fortune. You know, hospital caretakers or something around that, medicine, health, something around that nature. You know, maybe you can do together. Find something to do. You know, also with the Ten of Hearts can be around hospitals as well, mental health.
That's
So,
for stroke, by the way.
hmm?
The Ten of Hearts is the card for stroke.
Mm. Is that from the numbering spelling?
The word, yeah.
The
I believe
word? Wow.
stroke is a Ten of Hearts.
Capital S stroke?
Sorry?
Capital S for stroke, or just
I think so, yeah. Because I had actually 2 people have them with that card. So, and end up in the hospital.
it's when the heart gets bigger.
Right. It's the, yeah.
Expansion.
Well, and think about too, like for someone I personally know close to me, he experienced what I guess is like a TIA or a TAI or whatever it's called, like those mini ones, and the circulatory system, the heart, the pumping of the blood, because he spent 30 something years in the restaurant industry where all he did was walk around and stand, and now he's doing a job where he's sedentary. He doesn't move. And so it makes, when you think about it, the heart and the pumping of the blood, and that's what causes blood clots. So it's fascinating to me how that connects even with the heart energy and the blood. So yeah.
Mm. Always, yeah. That's why we always fascinated. Come back to the car. And yeah, the five of spades is a walking energy as well. I always say like that change, that like it's a movement. I work with someone that had a mental disorder, seven of diamonds, and they had a thing where they just had to keep moving, they just had to keep walking. You know, that was his thing. When everybody else was on break, we took walks around the building. You know, so yeah, even like when people have health issues, mental disorders, you know, you can look to the cards and see certain characteristics or how what things they like, you know, what will supplement them maybe better, you know, for relaxation or for their mental peace as well, you know, or just health issues. Like the seven of diamonds can have a lot of health issues with frustration, having to have some type of form of release, kind of like blood pressure, you know, with the nine of hearts connected to it. You know, and have the five of spades and Mercury with the ten of hearts, kind of like what Tina said. And even looking at the ten of hearts, you know, it has the three of spades and Pluto, you know, so a lot of disorders or changes within the health conditions or issues, you know, getting diagnoses from several different people and having issues and maybe unseen things that didn't see that may come up later. So, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that keeps coming up that I've been so curious to bring in, and I don't know if we'll be able to really give it much, but so you know how there's this idea that you like spiritually override things, you know, like you think about it in a more spiritual way and don't necessarily deal with the feelings of it. Is that kind of how you guys understand spiritual override?
I'm sorry, what was the question again?
The spiritual override, I'm bringing into the conversation this concept of being spiritual overriding. So tell me what you guys think spiritual overriding is.
I have no idea.
Have you ever heard it? Ever heard people say that, like spiritually overriding?
Well, I think if the way I understand that would be like getting in the way of something, you know what I mean? That's supposed to maybe happen for your alignment. And maybe because you, like, we were actually talking about this the other night in a class, last night maybe. you know, transits, cards are going to happen. You can't, sometimes, you know, I've had to see that these things happen because I need them to happen. You know, did I need to, you know, resist and hold on? Probably not, but that's just my, you know, what I do. But I've learned to let that go, right? So, yes, I think people, you know, when we have this insight, we tend to want to, like, you know, figure everything out. What I've learned, as much as I try to figure everything out, I have to let it be too. You know, I can't let, you know, I like today, knowing the situation is like, I have to, like, yes, I had to sit with this. It's okay if it's not in this moon fate. Like, you know what I mean? I can't spiritually override this. I cannot demand that we do this on this time. It's not just me. So I have to let that be, you know. I think too, you know, you can guide yourself with these energies so that you make better choices. But I don't think you can really spiritually override something that you have to kind of go through. You have to have that, because it is a part of your growth and your development. So if you try to avoid it, it's gonna come. It's gonna show up in another way, anyways. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll wait and look up what people call spiritual overriding, because I hear you. I think everything you just said is totally true. I totally agree. There's just been a way that it's been coming up in my intuition and in my meditations, and I'm like, oh, this is interesting. And what I'm getting a sense of is the possibility that being able to kind of like work from or call your higher self, you know, spiritual override, could in fact help us grow in a stronger, more clear forward direction, and not recycling the third dimension kind of density, and the complaining and the shaming and stuff. So when I heard that guidance, I was like, oh, that's interesting. I thought we weren't supposed to spiritually override. Like, I had like a little internal thing inside me. But then I've been thinking about, if I'm going to speak my life into existence, if I'm going to be part of the co-creation with the universe, how I hold my frequency, what I speak is going to create things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the cards, yes, the numbers, yes, the transit, but also me and what I can bring to acceptance and moving my energy to seeing it differently. So I just been thinking about that.
I think that's where the 11 comes in, and the tens, the meaning between God and Himself, and man recognizing himself, and having the willpower and the intuitiveness and the cleverness to make things happen for itself, um, and seeing the things in the moment, divine timing. I think you do speak like I was. I don't feel like I give readings. I'm not telling you fortune. I'm not telling you future. Like, I'm just confirming things that you've already done. You know, I feel like that's what karma is, almost in a way, is things built upon what you've done as well. You know, so things happen based upon the things that you spoke or the things that you have done, and that is the control that gives you the control. You know, and from what I'm hearing, I feel like that's what, I guess, in a sense, spiritual override may be, or the concept of manifestation, you know, manifest destiny. And I hate that word manifestation where it's turned. I feel like everybody has this thing where they manifest their destiny or things they want to do with their willpower, you know, like this is set for me, you know, this is what I'm here to do. But people don't want to accept the negatives within it, so they override. I think the negatives from the positives is like, okay, that was God, that wasn't me, or that was supposed to happen. You know, I think everything's supposed to happen. Everything is a result of you doing it. You know, even the negatives. You know, so it's like the card you played, good or bad. You know, you played three of diamonds. It's going to come with the insecurities. It's going to come with the changes. It's going to come with the negatives as well. You know, the transformation, likes and deaths. You know, so you can't just um, bypass those karmas also.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
You're saying.
so everything is kind of one and the same. Like, you manifested it. Also, you manifested the negative also. Maybe I'm sorry to say, but you know, it was still within the manifestation of you and yourself. So I think that's where the separation, and I wouldn't say confusion, you know, but where it's like, is that will or is it God's will? You know, did I do this or is this God's will? you know. So I think it all kind of meets in this
Co-creation.
co-creation, right? It's co-creation, you know. Because like I said, I don't read people.
Acceptance. I feel like there's an acceptance that comes with it, because when I can call to being expressed in a new way, and I can sit where I accept what is, and I accept what's been, and I'm ready to change, that's a whole like rolling the dice, who knows? That's like a new number on the die game, right? That's not like, I don't know what that transition is. I can't predict that. I don't know that the cards can predict that. Maybe the pure spread can predict that, right? But like, I would say that the evolution that we're being invited to right now is a call to being very different than anything that we can remember. So when I talk about going into the higher self or the higher like conversation, I'm pretty much saying, I'm ready to go. Like, I'm ready to pack what I've known and be different. Let it be graceful. Let me be true. Help me see what I need to see so I can do what I'm here to do. Like, bring me forward. And I'm not overriding the stress of like, I got to wash the floor, I got to walk the dog, or I got to here or there kind of stuff. Like, all that's part of my day. But my energy is moving differently as I say yes to a bigger expansion. Like, I'm noticing a different energy.
Yeah, you got, like you said, you got to be accepting, of
I
that.
accept everything like it is.
Yeah, and it's like you got to answer the call. Like if the intuition, or if you feel like I need to do this, because if you don't, something else may happen. It's like I said, it's the cards you dealt, what you choose. So it's like playing the cards you dealt for a win situation. And accepting the falls within between, and even within that, how you handle it mentally is what changes the results.
Oh, sure. And I definitely think about how I play cards, because when I play cards, I tend to keep the stuff in my hand and then sometimes not play it. And I could have played it and I didn't play it. So I'm definitely aware of the way, because I believe that how you do anything is how you do everything. And I like to think about how I play cards. So I definitely can see how I don't always play all of my cards out. I kind of like hold them and sit where I sit. So it's an interesting awareness. Very interesting. Yeah, just been curious about this whole idea of meeting our spiritual selves and how that, is so that we still live with what we got to live with, but come to peace so we can transition, I suppose, in some alive way.
They say, I was just reading something about transition. They say that if you want to transition out and knowing your path and completing, to get into with the medium, someone as well. So actually, that's something I want to do. If to understand and recognize your full karma, and I think that's why people look at the Akashic records. I'm always skeptical, even though I have the cards. It's like, how can you even be skeptical of like that, those things, right? But still, sometimes I'm like, like how much, like what is like a psychics and mediums are like the people that I like fully trust. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I can't say I'm skeptical at all because I'm here, right? But it's like, but it's like the mediums. Those like sometimes I feel like I need confirmation from a medium. Like, okay, let me get full confirmation. It's like only like if you're telling me something from someone that has passed, it's like they got it now. Maybe that's just me. Am I tripping? I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Well, I have to go because I also have to get to my daughter plays basketball today. We have travel. So on top of all of this, I need to get ready. I have all these orders I got to ship. So, but
Congratulations, Gina. May it continue to fill you up.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful. Thank you to you all. I will see you guys next week.
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday night. I'll be there. But thank you, and look out for the post. It's happening today. So
what time today? What time today?
No idea. Before the is void. So they have strict instructions that the moon cannot be void, and that's 9. The moon goes void at like 9. It's only a short void. It's like 15 minutes. So. Oh. But yeah.
Good job, Gina. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
All right. Enjoy.
What's up, Rashad? Have we covered our Jack of Clubs? Do we feel complete?
Yeah, thanks. I know it was like everywhere, but hopefully it kind of went by fast.
It did go fast. So let's see. We touched on the Jack of Clubs and that it was a place of truth and that we have good experiences with Jack of Clubs. We brought in Nipsey Russell, and then we had Gina come in and give us glorious Nipsey Hussle, sorry. And then we had Gina come in and give us a glorious expression of the cards and how they're playing out for her. She's wearing all sorts of jacks in there. And then we've just been running around with like ages and stages and how to do your weekly readings. And what did you say about the internet going down for months? And
but that was a rumor. I don't know if it's true. You know, they say a lot of things, but
who said?
Whoever started the rumors. No, it's funny. There's this, someone always says this song from
who starts the rumors?
The rumors are spreading. Where is that from? The Penny Proud family. They started in the rumors. You don't know that Proud Family? Look up Proud Family rumors, and there's a song.
Proud Family or Proud Family?
The rumors around. But whoever starts these conspiracy theories, that's why I said that. But yeah, I was saying if the internet goes down, you got to know how to do these things by hand. That's why the greats of the past were the greats, because they did everything by hand. We're degenerate. I hate to say it, but my generation is degenerates of the greats. Because where would I be without technology?
Oh my God, that's we were doing some stuff for the farm yesterday, and like I love to like take out pen and paper, write things, put it down, and it's like so antiquated, right? But there's a way that it makes so much sense. And whenever we can't find stuff, I can go to these things and I know exactly what's going on. But like to find it in the Google Doc, to go and find the different things. Like I said yesterday, I don't know what it is. I feel like there's a stubborn brat in me who doesn't want to do it, but it's because I don't feel like I'm connecting to anything. Like I love being able to say, what was that thing over there? Oh, was that? Okay, thanks. And then you're going back to what you're doing. When it's like, go into this abyss and find out this information. There's no real connection to anything. Like there's something about it. And again, it could be my age and stage and my stubbornness, but I'm like, I really call for co-regulation. I call for co-creation. I call for like moving with other energies in ways that we're sharing ideas and moving together. Like it's what feels like it would be more alive. Sometimes doing it in these interactive ways with this computer and stuff like that, I find it a little bit deadening. And again, I don't mean to be dramatic. It just doesn't have the same spark of connection that I used to when I want to play with other people. Like I can't imagine in the restaurant having everybody be a robot and not being able to go down and talk to them all.
No, yeah, you're right. You gotta have some. And I think that's one thing someone was talking about, like about the Aquarius. Everything that's happening in Aquarius is disconnection. Like you think of it's like community, information, these things, but it can also be a disconnection as well. Between information of people, and especially the threat of everything being digitized, right? So there's maybe a upgraded connection, but it may not be, a physical connection. Even thinking about just the aliens and telepathic, connection or transferring information isn't a physical connection. So I definitely understand the physical interaction and the need. And just thinking about the Ten of Hearts, Jack of Clubs, people going to the hospital. Sometimes people need a connection. Some people, like the Jack of Clubs, can also be someone that can be dependent, as well, emotionally dependent. That restlessness and needing relationships. And as the Ten of Hearts, sometimes people go to the hospital just to be told they're okay, and may not even. I'm not saying it's nothing wrong with them, but yeah, it's the physical connection that you need, the meaning of the hearts, I think. So yeah, I think that a lot of things are lost with upgrade of information. There's a balance that needs to happen, and the physical heart interaction that needs to happen. I was just thinking about the other day. I was supposed to call someone, but it's like I don't even want to call them because I want to be there physically. Like it's like
That's like that too.
it's not even like the same. Sometimes. you know.
Like you get to a certain point on the phone that you're just like, man, I just want to fucking chill.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's different. I totally understand. I feel I have two places like that too, for sure. The other thing is like when you put in the rumor, of the internet, to me, the whole having to come home and using the internet and stuff like that, and people going out into nature, like, I've been up here hiking and living up here for 30 years. These places are mobbed now for hiking ever since the pandemic. Like it's completely different. Do you know what I mean? Like a whole bunch more people go hiking now. So I wonder what could develop in us if we were not allowed to be so wired by the internet. Like what would be fostered in us if we were to take that out? Just like people were forced to deal with what was in their homes, they were forced to deal with their relationships. They were forced to figure out how to change the way they did things. Kids had to stay out of schools. So we learned about what's happening in the schools, what's good in the schools, what's maybe not so good in the schools. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm curious what we might learn about ourselves if we were to take out the hard wiring to the Google man.
A lot. I think
I'm curious.
Yeah. Yeah, especially I think the children.
We have to get those digital. We have to get those rotary phones again. But go ahead.
No, you're right. It's a clip going around, and they was asking like Gen Z or whatever X, wherever they in, right? If you haven't heard on Clubhouse, I thought it was funny. She was like, "I'm Gen XYZ."
I know, that was so funny. Brianna said that. That was so cute.
But so they was asking them questions about different things, and they gave them a phone. And it was like, how do you dial on this? It was like, but you said what was you gonna say?
No, just like that. Like, what do you do on the phone? Like, how do you do those things? Like, because I mean, we get so accustomed to doing this. Like, yesterday I got like a huge high five because I now know how you can blind copy people when you email them. It's like, woohoo, and it's like, I didn't know how to do that. I learned a while back, but now it's like, lay people don't know. Then they're like, you're telling people my business. It's not, but you don't even mean to make a mistake. Like, to me, the reason that the internet's so hard on my generation is you just can't help but feel stupid when you're doing it.
Yeah, you can be all by yourself.
How much confidence you've grown, how you could roller skate, what painting you made, how much money in the bank. When you sit in front of this thing, you are not smart.
It is definitely smarter than you.
Yeah, it's smarter than everything, so it's an interesting thing as far as like, what's our true intelligence? What's our true value? What's our meaning? Like, how do we work with the elements, So I do find it all very interesting. I'm curious.
Mm-hmm. But I think in this age and going forward, and that connection with people is going to be vital. That's going to be the jobs that are what they call recession proof, I guess you could say. The like you said, there is a genuine value around those particular things, around people and emotions and that interconnection, And I do agree as well. Like Pluto in Aquarius, someone said Healing Advice Oracle was saying that there's power to groups, people of groups, which I kind of agree. And even looking at the Jack of Clubs, I believe there's going to be people gathering to learn more, or the people wanting to come together in groups that be inspired, to learn how to interact and teaching and essential workers. It's pushed by the Queen of Spades.
Mm-hmm.
Queen of Spades is information and knowledge, tech, and all those things as well. So someone got to come together and kind of teach you how to interact. And even emotionally.
That's what would happen if we weren't using this and say we were in small groups kind of things. Because what I'm finding even in my work with people is people don't know how to really communicate and work out and negotiate things. It's like really hard for people. Like just simple things, it's like there's just I'll go do it myself, or I'll just shut down, or I'll Uber eat it, or I won't make dinner. It's like, wait a minute, no, we got to figure out how to do it here together, like who's going to do what, like we're planning the Farmony event at the farm. And like the part that's so fun about the Farmony is like, we're going in the field and we're going to get the food, and you're going to do the stuff, and this person's going to do this job, and we're going to make the fire, and you're going to be cutting stuff. Like everyone's going to be doing things together towards us all sitting together and like having our food or doing what we need to do in the field, and then like having whatever experience we're going to have of the different ones we're going to deploy. But it's so much about that working together, and it's amazing how people start to let down, almost like they're with their family on a vacation because they have a job, they have a purpose, and not just like looking for what am I going to go spend money on or buy, or where am I going to go be seeing something. It's like, where am I just going to chill out, and what's my job? Oh, I'm the person making the salad, or I'm the person collecting the chamomile for the tea for after dinner. Like that's the kind of stuff that I feel like just it's subconsciously soothing to our souls.
Having order, structure between the groups and community, and that's the Jack of Clubs and Ten of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts. Like it's that community thing, Queen of Spades is all about the community, social work. That's why I say social work. And like you're saying, like that Mars, Jupiter. I keep on saying Mars. I think putting that Jack of Clubs and Mars, Jupiter, right? That's the spiritual spread if I keep saying that. But even still, the Venus Uranus is the relationship aspect. For the unconventional relationships, but
social emotional stuff that we're trying to learn, like you're teaching the kids at school, like all that social emotional stuff.
Yeah, and definitely working around like mental health and all of those things is like the Jack of Clubs. But outside of that Mars Jupiter positions is the interaction of doing things, movement, having order, structure, and purpose around the social interactions. It's like I'm here. What do I do? What's the instructions?
Yeah, like maybe be part of it. I want to be part of it to come together. I want to see it happen and be part of how it happens.
And even the Jack Clubs is the Jupiter Mars is meant to be proactive as well, So how can you be proactive without any form of information, knowledge, or education? So that's why the education dynamics around the Jack of Clubs, it's like putting someone out in society that has a lot of energy but has no instructions. You're just going to get uncombustible energy. That's saying it can't be burnt out, but I think that's the essence of it, of having no direction. Because a lot of times that can be that Mars Jupiter can be, and we're saying that it can be a part of like armies or generals. So it's like putting a general out and they're gonna go start a game, right? Right. So you're gonna formulate a crew or a network, and use that energy in a bad way possibly, So you're going to create instructions for yourself and for the people around you. So I think there's that energy as well. And so going into, and they say the Aquarian age is the Jack of Clubs and Two of Spades, which has in Pluto. But the Aquarian nature, because it sits in Uranus, on that Uranus line, the Queen of Clubs is that Uranus age. So I think that whole role, you can't deny that whole role as far as like if you're looking at ages and stages. I think you got to look at the whole role in the development, what's important throughout that particular time. That's how I read the spreads.
Oh, I agree, Rashad. That's what you say it. I love what you're saying. We'll go there again. Well, let's go so we can start our days. But this is one.
No, thank y'all. And we did see y'all comments all going in and out. Nipsey Russell, that was a good one. Appreciate it.
I said it wrong, right? So
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
But yeah, definitely got to be discreet. So appreciate you all and love your interactions. And love to the fact y'all get to laugh with us. And we'll be here next week. Join us if you can. Hopefully, and with any questions, DM us and on Instagram, Growing with the Seasons from Rashadncards. And Gina, look out for Gina rebrand today. So if you don't, look on my Instagram. I'll post her in my story so you can catch that. So thank y'all.
Nice. Thank you, Todd. Bye.
Bye.